back to Buddy Spirits and Cigars. Today we are going to go over Basil Hayden Dark Rye. And we understand that Basil Hayden can kind of get crapped on time to time. However, this Basil Hayden Dark Rye is probably my favorite Basil Hayden that they have.
It's definitely one of mine.
Yeah, it's very good. Have you had this yet?
Negative.
Yeah? Okay, so this will be a good experience for you then.
Not high.
This is it's 80 proof. The approximate age statement on it is about 8 years in the barrels. This is a mixture. It's by Beam Sanatory as well. I forgot to throw that in there. Anyway, it's a mixture of Kentucky rye, Canadian rye, and it's finished in port wine barrels. It's a really dark. I'd say it's almost more than an amber, but anyway, really good. I'm a huge fan. I've had this before. We haven't done it on the show, but this is one that was picked for us to do, and I'm a huge fan of this. I like it a lot, and I'm kind of excited to see what you think about this spirit. So let's get into it.
Absolutely. It's got a really good, clean nose to it.
Yeah, it does. You can smell some of the oak and some of the fruit, berries, I guess would be. Would you like to smell it, even though you've had it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
I think you get like some of those dark fruit, like
berries or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's like a snozberry because it's not. I don't know what it is. It's I would say like almost like a plum to me. Sweet. It's just
I think that's where the port comes in, is on the fruity smell, kind of sweet.
Yeah. You know, we should do a port one of these days.
Yeah.
I've tried my best to get into wines. Tried various different. I can't.
Port is a little different though.
Yeah.
Harry had a really good one called 6 Grapes. That, I mean, it's not a super fancy one, but it's pretty good. We should think about that.
Well, let's say
Let's do it.
I like it. Shit.
Right to the soul.
Yeah.
Right.
Shit fire.
This stuff is so smooth, man.
It is. It's
I
really good.
really love it.
The smell of it after you take a sip.
And it pairs really well with this cigar as well.
You really get the sweetness and the fruitiness once you take a drink of it. I'm a fan.
I like the hell out of this.
You do?
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
So
Yeah, I was already a fan.
But now let's go to something else that I have heard you don't care for.
Yeah.
Angel's Envy.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, at the time I didn't. I've not revisited.
I mean,
But at the time,
it's a similar process.
Yeah,
as Basil Hayden.
yeah, it's still pretty much the same.
I said, nah, I don't.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've got bourbon versus rye though, so there's a little difference.
Angel's Envy does have a rye.
Yeah, they have. He's only had the bourbon though. That's finished.
Right.
So
Okay. Yeah, that may be a lot of the difference too. So a little bit of it doesn't have a lot of harshness to it, but it has just a spiciness, I guess you could say.
Yeah. No, there's nothing harsh about this.
That's where you can get that's the rye that you're getting that from. But I like this. I have always been a fan of this ever since I've had it. And so you want to start off this time? We'll start on your end.
Absolutely. So the first time I tried this was at One Eye Jack's in Bentonville. Shout out to Big Joe, Mama Joyce. Joe had this stuff and was telling me about it. Said it was very limited. The first sip, I fell in love with it, and I actually drove up to Northwest Arkansas a couple of times, specifically just to buy multiple bottles of this, because it wasn't here.
Right.
But to me, this is a very smooth pour. It's got great flavor. I haven't smoked anything with it that didn't pair well. Of course, I smoke a lot of full flavored stuff, but it complements very well. Mm-hmm. For me, this is a solid 4 1/4.
Shit fire.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
It's harder to get now. There for a while, it was impossible to get, and I was driving up there. I was driving an hour and a half to pay $35 a bottle, getting 3 or 4 at a time. Mm-hmm. When it finally started showing up around here, it was hitting about 47 a bottle. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it in a while, so it may have gotten scarce again.
It has. I found that and another bottle of the same at Cheers, is where I got that.
Right on.
And that was all that they had. I got the last 2, so.
Good pick.
I seen one bottle sitting at Sodi's, I believe it was. But
The last time I saw it in the store was at Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith on the far end of town.
mm-hmm.
They
Shout out to Dave.
folks love the shit on Basil Hayden.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, as far as this goes.
Well, the regular Basil Hayden is nothing special.
That's true.
I mean, it's okay. Where Basil Hayden, I think, shines as a bourbon, as a family of bourbons, is this stuff like this. The 2x2 rye, the 10-year, the 10-year rye, I think, are excellent. So,
If you have a bottle of 2x2 year rye, they don't make that anymore. So that is something that's extremely coveted, if you will. It's good, and they don't make it. So
it's very good.
special occasions.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But I mean, it's Buddy Spirits and Cigars. We're gonna have to do an episode on it at some point in time.
Yes, please.
And I have back when they were making it, I have a bottle from when they were making it, and I think it was one of their reps or somebody. We got word from somebody that they weren't going to make it anymore, and haven't seen it set on the shelf since that happened. Once they ran out, I mean, that was it.
I kicked myself when I bought my bottle. There were 4 bottles on the shelf at Jane, Missouri Walmart liquor store, and I should have bought all 4.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And I thought, well, they've got 4. You know, it must be coming back around, and I've never seen one since.
Yep, I haven't either. What do you think about Kim?
Dude, I'm gonna give it a 4 with the Stag. I like the hell out of that. I mean, there's a lot going on there. Mm-hmm. It's got this sweetness. There's almost like, as it rolls around the tongue, it almost gets like this carbonation to it. It starts to kind of spark a little bit on my tongue, I feel. And I like the hell out of that. I don't know what that is, what that phenomenon is. Maybe that's some pathophysiology going on with my tongue. I don't know. But I like the hell out of it for it.
I do too. This is definitely going to be well above the middle of the road for me. This is one that I would definitely seek out at a lounge and order.
Mm-hmm.
And
absolutely.
I mean, I could be on this the rest of the evening. You know, even a nightcap. It's even good and smooth for a nightcap. It shouldn't come back on you and burn you while you're sleeping or anything. As far as if you have any kind of reflux and stuff, it's a good drink. I really like it a lot. I'm going to give it a 3.75. That's up there on the scale for me. I'm not trying to take Simon's place over here, but
no, it seems so.
I think 3.75 is a very fair rating for this, for sure.
Seems like you're looking for steamers.
I think it's a little low.
Yeah, well, and that's fine. It would be lower if it was.
If I were going to rate it.
Oh, Kevin would give it a 2.
Go ahead and give us like a mock rating here.
Oh, since you've had it before.
Yeah, since I've had it before. Okay. Price point.
I bet it's a 2.
For 80 proof. It's a little expensive, I think, for 80 proof. It's hard to find, so that knocks some. It's limited availability, so that drops it down.
But it's not as hard to get a hold of as something that's more allocated. You know, like
it's not allocated.
It's not allocated. So if you know, like a Stag or some of the allocated Wellers and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've seen like I said. Well, I bought.
And
two.
you did buy this local too,
Yes,
right?
I did buy this local.
Yeah.
So and they had 2 bottles. Haven't seen those bottles though on the shelf since probably over a year.
But have you looked for them knowing you have bottles at home?
No, I didn't have any bottles at home, and I was looking
okay.
for it.
Okay,
So,
gotcha.
and now I don't have any bottles at home because as soon as I bought the bottle, I had 2. I drank one. Not like in a sitting, but it was I drank it every night until it was gone.
It wouldn't be hard to drink one in a sitting.
No.
I mean, as
No.
good as it is, to me.
No, it's definitely.
It lasted however long a bottle usually lasts me. I do love the bottle, the marketing of it, the copper-esque type, band around it and the color. I mean, they've done a hell of a job with that.
And of course, now those are all changed,
Yeah, I know.
which is gay, but whatever.
Cop knockers. Anyway, I'd probably give it a 3.
Damn.
So,
Told you.
I told the audience too.
well.
Well,
I mean, I really like it. I really like it. Like I said, I wish it were just a little higher in proof. Wish it was more affordable. Well, not necessarily affordable, but more easily found. But all in all, based on 3. Without trying it right now, 3. So
I'm not sure that I would prefer it to be a higher proof in the sense that would change the whole experience. I think as it sits, it's very smooth. It's something that you could, have several glasses of and probably be okay. Versus,
stumbling around
We're
over
not
it,
getting.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm saying like, you get into Old Granddad or something like that, and you're getting up in the 114 proof or whatever. But it's not. What would you pay? 45.
45 something.
Ish.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, that's what
By
they're
the
going
time,
for
well,
these
by the
days.
time that I paid for that plus tax, it was just over a bill. So like 102 something
For 2 bottles.
for 2 bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
So
Yeah,
I think
so-
to me that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Now, the first 3 bottles I got off work back on when I was on night shift with Frank, and I drove to Springdale that morning, and bought 3 bottles. They were $33, and then overnight it seemed they jumped.
Yeah.
$12
like our gas
bucks,
prices.
$12 or something, but.
Gas
It's
prices
still
are
to me worth
crazy.
$47
Oh, yeah.
all day long.
Yeah, I will. If I find it again, I will buy it, and I will buy. If I can buy 2, I will buy 2. I may
Yep.
buy 3. If I have to pull out the old credit card.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well,
Bam. Yeah, I mean, I like it that much that I would put it on my credit card.
Son of a bitch.
That's what's in my emergency flask in the car,
well, not.
because
It's not
You
just
never know.
about liking it that much. It's also availability accounts for that as
Yeah.
well. But the typical middle of the road, run of the mill bourbon. I mean, you're looking at about $60-ish anyways. And you can find something that's
I can find-
less than that. That's good. I'm not saying that you can't. But that's a pretty good middle of the road price point because we have several here that are
More than-
$100
yeah.
plus.
Yeah.
And most of the ones we drink, not all, but most of the ones we drink are around the 60-ish price
Yeah.
point.
yeah,
And so this being less than that, and being as good as it is, I think it's a win.
Yeah.
Definitely a win.
Yeah.
absolutely.
On that. So we have we haven't ever had this cigar specifically on the episode today. We went with Drew Estate Liga Privada T52. And Fletch, you want to talk a little bit about
Yeah.
that?
T is in
So
Tom or B is in boy?
T is in Tom.
It'd be cool if it's called
T52.
B52, but,
Well,
yeah.
Rocky has a B52
Okay,
actually.
okay.
This T52 is this particular one is the short Panatella. I chose another short one just for the episode. They come in several different sizes: Robusto, Corona Viva, Toro, stuff like that. But this is a stalk cut Habano wrapper with a Nicaraguan filler. This difference being the stalk cut. Normal tobacco is taken in what they call priming. So they take a couple of leaves each row. The tobacco plant has several levels of leaves. So they take a priming, one row of leaves, and they go up until nothing but the Ligero is left at the top. Well, the stalk cut, they take the whole stalk at the same time, hang it upside down in the curing barn, so the leaves actually nourish off the stalk as they cure. So it gives a more earthy flavor to the tobacco. That's why you can detect some earthy notes in this. And it's just a different process, but a Habano wrapper is also a good earthy flavor as well. So this is a really good cigar. It's my favorite Liga, just of the standard Ligas. The 9 is a Connecticut broadleaf Maduro wrapper, which is very, very good, but this one's my favorite.
I like the T52s as well, and that was the first Liga Privada that I had. It was a T52, different Vitola on the one that I had, and I was sold. They're all the Ligas that I've had are in the whole. I mean, they have a pretty broad line of Liga, and I like every one of them.
Yeah.
Now you've been on the Rocky Patel factory tour, but you've also been to the Drew Estate factory tour. I
have.
And you want to talk a little bit about the Drew Estate one?
Sure. So we flew into Managua and hung around at the Camino Real. It's a little hotel there. We were waiting on our rep. He was on a different flight. I can't talk about how awesome that hotel was enough. I think American, it's like $60 a night. They had a huge bar out by the pool, some cabanas you could hang out in. The best mojito I've ever had in my life, by the way.
Have a good mojito.
So then we drove out to their villa, which is in Esteli. Man, to tell you the difference, most cigar companies, they're not air conditioned or anything like that. They have big garage doors they open for air, and you know everybody there is pretty much used to the climate, so it's not a big deal. The Ligas are rolled in an air conditioned room. The people that roll Ligas get air conditioning. And down in Nicaragua, air conditioning is not like it is here. Everybody has it here. You can get a single wide with a freaking air conditioner. Nicaragua, that stuff's rare. So the fact that those people have gotten their skill to the point they're rolling the finest cigars Drew Estate makes, they get that extra benny of having some AC. For those of us that are fat and sweat a lot, I was really happy to go into that room and watch that process. They're rolling Feral Flying Pigs, T52s, UF13s, and all that stuff. Do that factory tour was off the hook. Had a beautiful lounge to hang out in, boxes upon boxes of Primo cigars to smoke, lots of Florida Cañeron to drink, beers and whatnot. So that in and of itself is a fantastic trip. If you're a cigar person and you ever get the chance to go on a tour, you should do it. Not only is the fact that you're getting to see, you know, like for me, it's a passion, getting to see from the seed to the plant to the curing barn to actually rolling the cigar and then smoking the end product. You see how much care and how much effort they put into making a quality product. And to me, Liga's right up there in the top 5 best cigars made. So I'm a big fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been a fan of Drew Estate, and I've had multiple blends of them. Liga is kind of where it's at for me. Now, the price point also reflects that. I mean, you get into the hierarchy, you get to the top side of that in a cigar company or anything else. The same way with bourbons and scotches, all different spirits. You know, you're going to pay for the finer quality stuff, but as long as that finer quality stuff reflects that price point, you know, it's kind of one of them things you don't necessarily mind shelling out some money for.
Well, and and if you haven't been, it's harder to justify that sometimes to yourself, thinking, "Oh man, that's a $17 cigar. I mean, I could get 2 or 3, you know, $6 cigars for that or whatever." But once you've been and you see what all goes into it, and you see how much, how many hands have touched that tobacco by the time it ends up sticking out of your mouth, burning, you know.
And let's
it
also
gives you a better.
Let's also stress that this is all manual labor. There's no machine that's doing this work. This is all done by hand.
Absolutely,
every
it is.
single bit of it. So
Let me ask you this: are they wearing gloves or are they barehanded?
No, they're not wearing gloves.
I didn't figure they would.
No.
But didn't know.
One of the best things about the tours that I've gone on is, you know, you're learning about tobacco, you're learning about how it's grown and all this stuff. But at the end of the Rocky and the Drew Estate tour, you go into an area and they've got a whole bunch of different tobaccos on a table. They've got fillers, they got binders, they got wrappers, and then you get to go through and blend your own cigar. So you are able to take the knowledge that you've gained over the couple of days you're there, and it's kind of like drinking water out of a fire hose. There's so much information, it's hard to get it all. But being able to sit down and look at these tobaccos, they have big sheafs of tobacco. You can feel it and smell it. They'll burn a little bit of it, so you can smell what it, what it like when it's burning.
Yeah.
And you get to blend your own cigars. And I feel like the ones I've made are pretty damn good. And that's just me. But I'll tell you, that to me is the coolest part, because you walk away from there with your own private blend of cigars. Yeah. And that is just kind of a bow on top of the whole thing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And then if if the people that are making them, you go to them and say, hey, this is what I blended, and they're like, yeah, that looks good, or that sounds great. That's another thing, kind of makes you sit up a little straighter. Hey, I made a pretty good cigar out of this mess.
Right.
And it also, tells you that maybe you picked up something that's useful. You learned what they were trying to teach you, and then you put it into practice.
Yeah.
To me, that's a really cool part of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, without a doubt. We definitely want to look into going on a tour at some point in time. So the best way that you guys can help us with that is to subscribe to our channel and like these videos. And the reason why we ask you guys to do that on our posts is because it helps out with the YouTube algorithm. So the more watches and subscribers and likes we have on videos in our channel, when people search for these particular things, it puts us kind of up towards the top of the list. So we want to grow our channel and become huge, so that we can get out there and reach more people. So we definitely would appreciate the subscribe, the likes, the views on the videos, and how long you watch the video matters too.
Yeah.
If you only watch the first 2 or 3 minutes, we do appreciate that. But if you can finish the video, the length of time you spend on that, it also helps our channel as well.
You could mute your phone and set it somewhere.
Yeah.
If you don't have the time or don't want to, you
We
could
prefer
mute
you
it,
watch it, but if
set it aside.
It's 4 chimps on a Davenport in the basement.
there you go.
Let's push
But
the
we're having
numbers.
fun. We're hoping you're having fun watching us have fun.
We're having a great time. And Bruce, thank you once again for being the guest on the show and joining us. We appreciate you coming and spending time with us and putting your knowledge out there for us. And we can't say thank you enough. We appreciate that.
Yeah,
It's a good time.
I mean, I really don't feel like you're a guest now. It's more like, you're just.
You're like a.
Yeah, I mean.
You're a roadie.
Yeah, I mean, even more so, just you're a buddy. I mean,
I'm the corn on the big toe of Terp's show.
Oh, no, that's not just mine.
You're the big toe of the foot. I'm the corn.
You're my bundle.
what was it? Sergeant Hulka was the big toe.
That's right. Sergeant Hook is the big toe. Terp is our big toe.
By the way, before we go, did you guys know, just a little fun fact before we go, did y'all know that Mexicans have to take anxiety medication?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, they suffer from Hispanic attacks. So we're going to leave you with that one. That's all the time we have for this episode. And we appreciate you joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye-bye.